Cast with Lonzo in command. Brought to you by Compton Entertainment Chamber, across the land. News and information, straight and uncut, we deliver. Real talk every time, sharp like a sliver. Like and subscribe, stay tuned, let's ride.
Hello, folks. How y'all doing today? You are live with Lonzo, the president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce and the editor for the Hub City Legend newspaper here in the city of Compton. And for the last few weeks, I have been interviewing the various candidates for the various offices for the city of Compton. I think this is my fourth mayoral candidate. My guest today is Omar Bradley Jr. Before I move any further, I got to make this absolutely clear. This is not an endorsement of any candidate whatsoever. It is strictly a public service brought to you by the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce and the Hub City Legend newspaper, folks. Mr. Bradley, how you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling well. Thank you very much. How are you today?
Man, I'm good. I can't complain. I got a few basic questions I ask everybody. I try to stay as unbiased as possible. First of all, what's your qualifications for being the mayor of the city of Compton?
So, as you know, my family has been at this for a very long time. For good or for bad, my grandmother was a part of the civil rights movement. She wrote a lot of the laws that are on the books today, but because there was sexism even in the civil rights movement, those laws have male names on it. My grandfather, Henry Bradley, as you know, had a gas station, one of the first Black businesses in Compton. My father's the former mayor. My aunt Dolores, she had the Meal on Wheels program, and I myself have a bachelor's of science in criminal justice and a master's degree in public administration with an emphasis in city governance. And I took a brief hiatus because Uncle Ronnie died and Uncle Leonard died on my business, my doctorate of business.
Okay. All right. What makes you want to be the mayor of Compton?
Honestly, it was something that was hit or miss for me. Um, Unfortunately, I think that one thing that Black people think that we have is time. And I thought I had time. I thought maybe after I get my doctorate and I hit all of the marks, that then I could come back and run. Unfortunately, we had a very scathing audit. We had some seniors say to me, we don't want to lose our charter. We don't want to lose our town. So you have to come now and do this now. We can't afford to wait. So more so than it is me wanting to do it, even though it's something that I've dreamed about for a little boy, as far as this particular moment is concerned, it's more about what my elders want. And as you know, for the Bradleys, elders hold a high premium in our hearts. I think people saw me helping Emma along at a couple of the debates because she didn't have the same packet that everyone else had. And so she didn't have the questions. And I took my packet of questions and I shared it with her so she could follow along. Um, it was no fault of hers, but that's my elder. And so even though we are both competing for the same chair, one that she occupies, it's still incumbent upon me as um, one of the younger generation to stand firm and do what it is that is right and that was taught to me.
Okay. If you were blessed with the opportunity to become the mayor of Compton, first 100 days, what would you like to do?
Well, you know what's interesting is things are a little bit different this time around, because normally when our elections line up, you win and you run into a dark month. So for the first 100 days, I'd like to look into the policies. I'd like to weigh them against the policies of other public administration entities, meaning other cities, weigh them against what is the norm and see where we need to make some corrections. I'm not going to make any grandiose plans or statements because there's a lot of things that have to be fixed. It's certainly like the anger is cyclical. You know, we have these buildings on Compton Boulevard, and yes, we see them going up, and yes, they surely look nice. But of course, we have some plumbing that's 125 years old, and some of the plumbing is wood, and some people are turning on their water and they're getting brown water out of their tub.
Wait. Stop. Back.
So
Wait. We got wood pipes. You saying? That's what you saying?
we still have what, you know, Compton is so old. We have wood piping still,
Wow.
and so you can't make a I'm going to pave everything, I'm going to fix everything, I'm going to build everything, because if you build them on the wood piping, if you build them on the old infrastructure, it's not only going to crumble, but it doesn't take a plumber to tell you that it's easier to change pipes that are under dirt than it is to change pipes that are under buildings.
Right. Okay. All right.
So we got
Now,
to go to the beginning first and fix what's wrong. And that's really what's wrong with our streets, is that we are not fixing what's under the infrastructure along with other things. But we have to go back to the basics. But it's been so long since the residents have had something good happen that we have people who say, well, let's just throw something up that's smoke and mirrors and looks good, but it doesn't fix the underlying problem. And this is the benefit of having a degree in public administration.
got you. Now, the other day we're at the Concerned Citizens Forum. You had a marijuana-ish type plan to put a dispensary just outside of Compton. Could you explain
Well,
that to us?
okay, so here's the thing. I'm not pro marijuana.
Okay.
The boundaries of Compton Unified are larger than the boundaries of Compton.
Okay.
And you cannot put a marijuana shop anywhere in Compton without being close to a school. And we can't keep our kids safe now. And I'm not talking about while they're in school, I'm saying when they get out of school.
Okay.
And so I was saying, if you were to do something like that, it would have to be uh, off the 91 freeway. It would have
Okay.
to be for distribution only. It would have to be a place where visitors could come in and maybe buy a Dr. Dre shirt, buy a DJ Quick shirt, buy a MCH shirt, buy a someone shirt, because Compton is a place of tourism. We want it to be a place of tourism. The name is global. And the residents would have to have a piece of the pie. So there's four business quarters in a year. There's four districts. So every business quarter, the corresponding district would get paid. That is
Okay.
the only way I can see anything coming to the community, is if that our residents are 100% taken care of. It can't be for the benefit of one person. It can't be for the benefit of three people. It has to be for the benefit of the entire community. And since no one is going to agree to that, you know, I set the bar, in my opinion, so high, but I
Mm.
also set the bar to where it would make sense to individuals that, oh, nobody's going to want to part with their money. But if they did, the residents of Compton, it's time that they get a cut. So many people have been coming in and out of Compton, making money off of Compton, developers making money off of Compton, people making money off of Compton, and the residents are footing the bill. What I'm saying about my administration is I want to make sure that the residents are thought about first, and that we find a way to make sure that the residents get something back, because the residents are stakeholders, the residents are stockholders. I can't see Apple or Google or Disney or any of these businesses holding on to their CEO and their board if the board keeps losing them money.
Mm.
I mean, that
Got you.
doesn't make sense. Every Steve Jobs would have been fired a third time, a second time.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm rocking with you. I'm rocking with you. I gotta ask this question, man. Your dad was a great mayor for City of Compton in the eyes of a lot of people, and some people, man, ain't too much care for him. Do you think that may help or hinder your campaign?
Um, either way, it's beautiful as long as they know the truth.
Okay.
If you know the truth of it and you still don't like them, beautiful. If you know the truth and you like them, beautiful. What I care about is engagement. And unfortunately, right, what we have right now is voter apathy. Unfortunately, what we have right now is people who are disengaged. So if they come to me and they say, I read something about your dad was a crook, your dad stole money, your dad this, your dad did that. At least they care enough to come and ask me
Okay.
or tell me, and it gives me the opportunity to engage and to enlighten them on the truth. And they can take that truth with them and spread it, or they can walk away and still feel the way they feel. But either way, hopefully they walk away from me knowing that I engaged them. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I listened to their concerns. I gave them my thoughts on the process. I gave them my thoughts on what happened, and certainly I lived it. Um, and we could walk away whether we agree or we agree to disagree. The bottom line is we are all from Compton and we all want what's best from Compton.
That's why we're here today. That is why we're here today. Just
Absolutely.
trying to get the word out to the get. I want everybody to see the candidates one on one, up close and personal. Okay, the candidates forums are great, but right now the platform is yours. You don't have to share it with anybody else. That's the same thing I've offered to everybody else. So whatever you want to share to people of Compton in regard to your platform and your campaign, please do so. Please do so.
Well,
That's what this is all about.
before we go there, it's interesting that at this time during everyone's campaign, um, every campaign cycle, by now the dirt has been flung.
Oh yeah.
By now the hit sheets have been sent out. And I like to take a little bit of credit for the one of the reasons why that hasn't happened, along with some of the other candidates. I reached out to candidates that I know. I've known Tootie since I was 9 years old.
Okay.
Um, I reached out to her. We had a conversation. We said, let's show Compton something different. We can't expect the residents to not fight. We can't expect the supporters to not fight if we don't get up there and show some solidarity and show understanding that this is about love for Compton. So when we got to the first candidates forum, I sat down and I talked with Mr. Guillory, and so did Tootie. And I said, listen, let's do something different. And so now what's occurring is, although people have complained about their signs being removed, um, you are going to appear to be the outlier if you are the first one to throw a stone.
Okay.
And so I believe that the change is, if you're going to be the mayor, you have to lead.
Okay.
You have to show leadership, even when you're not showing leadership. Um, when you're in criminal justice, they show you a video, and in that video, there's a man that sits on the steps of a courthouse, and he's dressed as a bum, and he has a cup in his hand. Nobody supports that man.
Okay.
One person drops money in the cup, then other people see the one person drop money in the cup, they and to drop money in the cup. Now take this man who's an actor. They put him in a suit. They put him on the steps of the courthouse looking dejected. First person walks up to him to find out what's wrong. The second person walks up to him to find out what's wrong. The third person walks up to him to find out what's wrong. So we create social systems, social groups without knowing that we are creating and becoming a part of a social group, even with nonverbal cues, if that makes sense. So if
Okay.
we can create a social group of peace and love, maybe it will spread. I'm not saying that it will definitely spread, but by the laws of criminal justice and creating social groups, it's the same with the street takeovers. Most people who engage in the street takeovers, if they're by themselves or they're with their parents, they wouldn't engage in it.
Nope.
They wouldn't engage in rioting. But once you see it going, there's something that hits your primal circuit that makes you want to go. And so what we have to get to is the it of the thing, to start making the changes. And uh public administration with criminal justice is the way we get to that id and grip. So public administration was started under Woodrow Wilson, um, because we used to have a mayor style of government that's now known as a traditional mayor, where the mayor has the power to veto, the mayor has the power to change votes. We see that in Los Angeles, we see that in New York. But in the 1940s, Compton changed to a city manager council form of government. Now, formerly, the mayor would write the budget, the mayor would hire the department heads. So if you have a mayor that says, I'm going to pay Parks and Recs 275,000, and that mayor hires their boy,
Mm.
and he tells his boy, pay me 75,000,
Right.
because the mayor's also writing the budget. So what President Wilson wanted to do was separate the public administration part, the administrative portion, the management and the budgeting from the mayor's hands, because every 4 years you're going to either keep a mayor or you're going to change a mayor. You're either going to keep a mayor and keep the same system in place, or that mayor's going to have a challenger and a rival. And that challenger and rival will remove everyone, which also isn't 100% good, because they're going to replace with who they want, and the city has to start all over. So a city manager was supposed to be the bridge between governing bodies, and their job is simply to write the budget, manage all of the departments, but to submit that budget to the city council and tell them the pros and cons of passing that budget. They do not say, this is the budget you're going to pass because I said so. What
Right.
they do is they say, this is the budget. We can put 20 millions into the parks. It'll be great for the kids. It'll upgrade all of the swings. It'll upgrade all of the play sets. But if we put that 20 million here, we're going to lack in the curbs. We're
Right.
not going to be able to put it into the sidewalks.
Mm.
And it's your decision, because if you put the money into the curbs, then you can't put it into the swings.
Okay.
So it's still a tough decision to make. But the city manager is the person that takes care of the administrative portion. And these are the things that people have to know before you get into government, because yes, the mayor's position is ceremonial. All the mayor does is make sure that the council meeting flows. The council only votes on policy and resolution. However, let's say with the bonds, or excuse me, with the PERS, the mayor can represent Compton and go to Wall Street. The mayor can uh, get Wall Street to purchase the debt, refinance the debt, and pass the savings on to the residents and on to the city of Compton. Just like if you had a car when you had bad credit and you refinance that car when your credit gets a little bit better, you get a little bit lower payment.
Right.
Now, there's a couple of my competitors that say that that won't work, but I know that for a fact that it would work because my dad did it. We had a $10 million deficit when he became mayor, and we had $100 million worth of damage after the '92 riots. Excuse me, uprising to some.
Okay.
Um, and so it can occur, but you have to know where to go, where to look, and how to do it. Because if you fall behind in this game, it costs people money.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay. All right. We're talking to Omar Bradley Jr., mayoral candidate for the upcoming election, June 2nd. Again, this is not an endorsement of any candidate whatsoever, just strictly for information. For you can, as a voter, you can go to the voting booth as an informed voter and make the choice that you feel is going to be best for the city of Compton. That's all we're here for, folks, giving these folks a chance to speak their platform so that you can make an informed decision June 2nd. Anything else you want to cover while we're here?
You know what? I want to say that I am nonpartisan.
Okay.
The founding fathers of the charter did not want our community to be based on partisanship. They did not want anyone coming in and determining um, the direction of the town based on what funds were thrown by political parties.
Okay.
So you won't see me at any, of course, the Republicans, but you won't see me at any official uh, Democrat meetings or debates because they won't bring me in just based on their bylaws. It's not that they have something against me. So if when you start seeing something of the Democratic team, and for some people think that I'm the most qualified candidate or I'm the better candidate, and you see something that says this is who we officially endorse, you may question that. But it is based on their bylaws. Now, that being said, that's something for you to look at. That's something for you to say, hey, should we put our money into these parties? Should we put our time into these parties? If they are not going to back the best person for me and the best person for my town and the best person to pull us out of a situation, why am I staying within this organization? And that goes for either one of them. I'm here to represent something.
Okay.
You know, right now we have an environment of party over people, and
Yeah.
it's important for um, elected officials at the local level to know what's going on stateside, federal side, and globally because it affects us. If you know you're going to war with Iran or Iran, you don't want to raise the water bill up 3 cents or even 4 cents because you should know that going to war with Iran means that your gas prices are going to go up, and it's the residents of Compton who are going to have to deal with that. Um, so I can't support Republican policies right now because they have us all over the place and starting wars. I can't support Democrat part policies right now because they aren't doing a good job of protecting the people of the United States. And so I can't tell the people who I am asking to lead to go either way when I know that either way is not good for us. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm saying right now, I don't see one being of benefit to the city of Compton, and I'm going to get hit for that. But it's the truth. I'm running for the residents, not for some party to be able to shade in blue or red in Compton.
Can you stress to the people of Compton how important it is for them to come out and vote, and especially this local election?
Well, voting is all right. Um, for Black and Brown, we have piggybacked off of each other for years. Yes, the relationship has been rocky in recent years, but for one, out of respect for our ancestors, it makes me cringe when I hear a Black person say, don't vote, it's not going to do anything anyway. I would like for you to get into a time machine and say that in front of the people who are marching in Selma with blisters on their feet, getting arrested, bitten by police dogs, and being sprayed with fire hoses. Tell that to them and then come back and talk to me. For the Brown community, even though there's been a mark on Cesar Chavez's name, he believed in what King preached, and he used what King preached to galvanize uh, people who were in the fields picking oranges, picking fruits. So we are spiritual siblings and we are spiritual siblings in this movement. And anytime we say do not vote, we are doing an injustice to those who saw voting as the only way out.
Okay.
And so, certainly, if you personally believe that a vote is going to do nothing, it has nothing to do with your grandparents. It has to do with the people who are being elected. So I ask you to channel your ancestors, to listen to them, to feel what they have gone through and what they did for us and be for us, and give it one more shot. And uh don't go negative because the selections before, the selections previously, have not lived up to what they said that they were going to do. This is going to be hard. This is going to be hard. We have to fix pipes. We have to fix streets. We're talking about preparing for the Olympics. We're talking about doing a walk of fame, which we already have a walk of fame, by the way, up Compton Boulevard. It started at the King Chavez Monument.
Okay.
My father started the walk of fame at the King Chavez Monument. And if you walk to the King Chavez Monument, I don't know if the placards are still there, but they started off with the placards of pastors in Compton, and they were supposed to wrap around and go to dignitaries and politicians, and then go to athletes, and then go to entertainers. But he did not get to finish that process. So we do have a walk of fame. It did start in front of the King Chavez Monument. And what bothers me about people having personal agendas and not fixing the King Chavez Monument as black and brown is more tense than ever. The monument is so desperately needed. You know, my dad chose the obelisk because the obelisk is sacred to both South Americans and Central Americans and to Africans. And the obelisk does not need arms to hold it up. Those arms are actually the hands of Cesar Chavez and Dr. King coming together to form a light, and the light that shines is supposed to be the beacon to brown and black that Compton is home to you wherever you are in the United States. This is where you can come and be safe. Because the truth is, the monument that we see is not our monument. The monument on everyone's shirt is not our monument. That monument belongs to the county of Los Angeles, and it
Mm.
was created by a white artist from Canada. So he knew nothing about Dr. King. Yet we are anchored to this idea because we've seen it since the 70s. This
Right.
is the Compton Monument. This is the only Compton monument I recognize. It's not your monument.
Mm.
Everything in that plaza belongs to the county of Los Angeles. That's the county of Los Angeles property.
Okay.
So we need to know the history. And that's the problem that I have with some of the forms, is that they don't want you to explain the history and the systemic issues that got us to this point. They just want you to explain what you are going to do. But if you walk into the ER, if you walk into the ER and you have flu-like symptoms, and they tell you you have the flu and don't test you for COVID, you should not want to go to that doctor again. A good doctor is going to say, hey, you got flu-like symptoms, but COVID is going around, and bird flu is going around, and swine flu, if that's still a thing, is going around. So we're going to test you for everything to find out what we are treating. You can't treat something and you do not know what the root cause of it is.
True. All right. All right, folks. You're here. You're listening to Omar Bradley Jr., running for mayor of Compton. Mr. Bradley, close it out.
This is not a, a political campaign. This is a personal campaign. This is about one mayor, one council, one Compton. Finally, for all. I've seen two administrations say, let's finish the work, and the work hasn't even started with some of these pipes in some of these streets. And it's time now for us to take control of our community and make it what we believe it can be. Compton has been so good to so many people. I mean, we are talking about an Olympic committee, and no shade to the people who are being placed on the Olympic committee. But we have Olympians from Compton, and I don't see them on the Olympic committee. I mean, we had Euless Williams, who was the president of Compton College, and he's an Olympic gold medalist. We have plenty of people who have gone to the Olympics and knows what the Olympics are about, knows what the sponsorships are about, knows what the towns look like when they build Olympic villages. That's who you should bring in. You write an open letter to everyone that has been an Olympian from the city of Compton. Everybody from Compton loves Compton. Venus and Serena are Olympians.
Hmm.
We have the opportunity to go out and ask all of the Olympians ever from Compton to come back. This is our chance. This is our time. And we haven't reached out to him. I mean, talk about dropping a pass on the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right.
So common sense isn't common, but let's use our sense on June 2nd. I
All
love
right.
you guys. Thank you, Compton. Thank you, Unc. And I say Unc because that is just a term. We are not actually related, even though we could be, because he knows my full disclosure. He knows all my uncles, my aunties. And also, let me just wrap this up. I am the child of a tar babe. I know people look at me and say, this is Omar Jr. His dad is a diehard Apache, and he is. My parents never agreed on anything in the house, never once. My mother said he will not go to Centennial and be an Apache. My dad said he will not go to Compton and be a tar babe. The one thing that they agreed on was that I couldn't be a Don, so I had to go to Linwood, which we often called the fourth high school in Compton Unified. So I'm sorry, Dominguez, but you know those Apaches and those
Tar babes.
tar babes are off the hook, and when they say something, they mean it. I had no say in the matter. I was a teenager. I was a minor. But let's bring it back together. Let's make our family one again and bring it back together.
All right, Doc. Thank you very much. Once again, this is Lonzo Williams from the Hub City Legend newspaper, president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce. And this is not an endorsement of any kind for anybody, strictly for information, folks. See y'all on June. See y'all when I see y'all. Peace. All right, have a good one now.
Later.